Welcome back to the Stateless Standard, the channel that strips away the state's smoke and mirrors to reveal the raw machinery of control. I'm your host, speaking from the shadows because, let's face it, in this game, faces are liabilities. Today, we're tackling a topic that's slithered into the public consciousness like a serpent in the garden. The deep state, but not the one you've heard about on cable news. The visible tip of the iceberg with its career bureaucrats, Wall Street cronies, and alphabet soup intelligence agencies like the CIA and NSA, who treat oversight like a quaint suggestion. No, today we're going deeper, much deeper. We're exposing the deep state behind the deep state. The real architects, the ones who don't just pull strings, they weave the entire web. If you're here because you're tired of the endless charade of elections and democracy, you're in the right place. This isn't conspiracy theater. It's cold, hard education with a side of well-earned cynicism. We'll unpack how this network operates, who runs it, and why it's hell-bent on dragging us into their vision of a new world order. Stick around for about 10 minutes, and you'll walk away not just informed, but armed. And if this resonates, smash that like button. It tells the algorithm we're onto something. Subscribe, and join the ranks of the awake. Let's begin. Everything in politics is a sleight of hand, isn't it? The American people have finally started to peek behind the curtain. Thanks to years of leaks, scandals, and that orange disruptor in the White House who dared to call it out. The deep state, that hybrid beast of unelected lifers in DC, big business fat cats, and spooks who spy on us all without a blush of shame. It's real. It meddles, it subverts. But here's the cynical truth. What we've been railing against is just the middle management. The real deep state lurks in the boardrooms of globalist clubs, the groves of secret rituals, and the family vaults of old money. Organizations like the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, Bilderberg meetings, and yes, even the whispered about Skull and Bones and Bohemian Grove. They're not myths, they're memos with teeth. Combined, this shadow syndicate doesn't just influence America, it puppeteers the world. Their agenda? A draconian new world order where sovereignty is a relic, borders are suggestions, and we're all serfs in their feudal dream. But knowledge is the ultimate disruptor. And the good news, you and I, we the people, still hold the power to unravel it. If we dare to look, to understand this beast, we need a guide from the inside. Enter Carroll Quigley, the late Georgetown professor who mentored a certain saxophone-playing president and got uncomfortably close to the flame. Quigley wasn't some wild-eyed outsider. He was in the network, an international Anglophile network, as he called it. He even rifled through their archives for years. And in his 1966 tome, Tragedy and Hope, he spilled the tea. Not out of malice, mind you. He agreed with most of their aims. But he hated the secrecy. "I have no aversion to it," he wrote, "or to most of its aims." Charming, isn't it? Quigley dismantled the fairy tale of American politics with surgical precision. Forget the myth of two parties as ideological warriors, one right, one left. That's for doctrinaire and academic thinkers, he sneered. No, the parties are twins in disguise, engineered so you can throw the rascals out every election, without actually changing a damn thing. Policies? Locked in? Power? Perpetual. It's a rigged carousel, folks, round and round, while the house always wins. But Quigley went further, laying bare the financial alchemy at the core. The powers of financial capitalism had another far-reaching aim, he revealed, nothing less than to create a world system of financial control in private hands, able to dominate the political system of each country, and the economy of the world as a whole. Controlled how? Through central banks in cahoots, via secret agreements arrived at in frequent private meetings and conferences. Some, like the G20, get a nod on the evening news. Others, buried deeper than Epstein's client list. Cynical, perhaps, but Quigley's own words, straight from the horse's mouth. Let's name names, shall we? Start with the granddaddy, the Council on Foreign Relations, or CFR. Founded in 1921 as the American arm of Quigley's roundtable groups, think British imperial wet dreams rebranded for the colonies. It's not a secret society. They've got a glossy website, membership dues, and Foreign Affairs magazine to launder their ideas into respectable policy. But don't let the polish fool you. As Quigley put it, this network operates to some extent in the way the radical right believes the communists act. And yes, they cozy up to communists when it suits. Hillary Clinton, yes, that Clinton, laid it bare in 2009 at their DC outpost, just blocks from Foggy Bottom. "We get a lot of advice from the council," she quipped, "so this will mean I won't have as far to go to be told what we should be doing." Advice? Try marching orders. The CFR doesn't suggest, it scripts. From Democrats to the GOP establishment, it's infested. Dick Cheney, that paragon of transparency, bragged on camera about hiding his membership during campaigns. I never mentioned that when I was campaigning for re-election back home in Wyoming. The crowd laughed. Of course they did. Who's in? Virtually the whole rotten core. Cabinet secretaries across administrations, Supreme Court justices, Fed chairs, media moguls from CNN to Fox, big bank CEOs, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Citigroup, big oil giants like Exxon and Chevron, defense behemoths like Lockheed and Raytheon. Even pseudo-conservative neocons and mega-church pastors dip in. Not everyone's a true believer, but enough are to make it lethal. Defector Admiral Chester Ward, a CFR insider for 2 decades, blew the whistle loud. Once they pick a policy, say endless wars or global cooperation, their think tanks churn out the propaganda. Foreign affairs becomes the echo chamber. Repeat a lie often enough and poof, it's gospel. Ward nailed the endgame. The main purpose of the Council on Foreign Relations is promoting the disarmament of U.S. sovereignty and national independence and submergence into an all-powerful one-world government. America first? To them, that's heresy. No wonder they loathe anyone who utters it. If the CFR is the public relations firm, the Trilateral Commission is the executive suite, more exclusive, more international. Launched in 1973 by David Rockefeller, the oil baron who crowed in his memoirs about conspiring with a secret cabal to forge a one-world order against America's interests. His sidekick? Zbigniew Brzezinski, Carter's national security advisor and CFR alum, who in between 2 ages declared America obsolete and hailed Marxism as a victory of reason over belief. Charming bedside reading. The Trilateral's pitch? A council for global cooperation linking the US, Japan, and Western Europe to tackle modernity's problems. Sounds benign? Brzezinski's fine print. It's a stepping stone to world government, nurturing communality among elites to counter global fragmentation. Translation: crush national identities, enforce equality from the top down, by force if needed. Senator Barry Goldwater, no stranger to fighting the machine, called it out and with no apologies. The Trilateral Commission represents a skillful, coordinated effort to seize control and consolidate the 4 centers of power: political, monetary, intellectual, and business. He wasn't exaggerating. Its roster reads like a globalist who's who: bankers, CEOs, policymakers. Their meetings? Closed-door blueprints for technocratic utopia, or dystopia, depending on your zip code. But wait, there's more. Beyond these respectable clubs lies the truly opaque Bilderberg Group summits, where NATO bosses and tech titans plot in 5-star bunkers. Secret societies like Skull and Bones, Yale's elite initiation rite churning out presidents and spies. Bohemian Grove, that redwood ritual ground, for mock sacrifices and real deals among the powerful. And the dynasties, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Soroses, funding it all through tax-exempt foundations that launder billions into subversion. Upcoming episodes will dissect these vipers' nests. But know this: they're not invincible, they're arrogant, and arrogance is their Achilles heel. So, what's the play? This network's endgame is crystal: a feudal world of central banks and surveillance states where you're a node in their algorithm, not a sovereign soul. They've eroded sovereignty piece by piece, as CFR scribe Richard Gardner boasted, an end run around democracy. Wars without end, currencies without borders, rights without teeth. But here's the cynical optimism. Exposure hurts them. As John Birch Society CEO Art Thompson notes, they've been stung before, decades of leaks and pushback. Trump? For all his flaws, and yes, his admin's lousy with CFR plants, he rattled their cage. They despise him. That's progress. The fix? Not despair. Action. Educate yourself. Organize. Bind these politicians with the chains of the Constitution, as Jefferson urged. Demand Congress defund the beast. Slash intelligence overreach, audit the Fed, exit globalist traps. We're at a pivot point, folks. Seize it or surrender to their transhuman hell. That's it for today on the Stateless Standard. Stay free. If this lit a fire, drop a comment. What's the next deep state layer we expose? Like, if you're ready to fight back, subscribe for more unfiltered truth and share with one friend who's still asleep. Knowledge isn't power, applied knowledge is. Until next time, stay sovereign, stay sharp, fade to stateless.